Another challenge against the candidacy of Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor-Greene. Today, the back and forth suits and countersuits continued. It started when a group of 5 Georgia voters filed the lawsuits challenging her candidacy for re-election. She countersued last week, and today the advocacy group representing the 5 Georgia voters filed an opposition brief to her countersuit. Karen Aguilar sorts it out for us. Karen.
Cindy, the group representing those Georgia voters is called Free Speech for People. They filed today's opposition brief because they believe Greene's claims have no merit. We also heard from her attorney, who says they do have merit.
Representative Marjorie Taylor-Greene wants to stay on the ballot in 2022, and she filed a countersuit to do that. But Free Speech for People filed this opposition brief to explain why the court should dismiss her request.
Her arguments are based on weak to non-existent support in the law.
The challenge filed by the group last month with the Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger says she supported the Capitol riots and should be ineligible to run for re-election. The challenge was granted an administrative hearing next week, but Representative Greene's attorney James Bopp says she should be eligible, which is why they are taking this to federal court before the administrative hearing next week to stop the proceedings.
Some of Bopp's arguments are that the challenge is unconstitutional because it violates her First Amendment right to run for office. And even if there was an insurrection, which he says she didn't support it, the Amnesty Act of 1872 removes her from accountability.
David Rowan, one of the challengers, is still fighting against her candidacy and countersuit.
Our lawyers filed a brief and pretty much picked it to pieces, and so I don't believe it's going to stand.
Tomorrow is an important day in the proceedings, the federal hearing to determine whether or not to block the lawsuit against Representative Greene. Reporting live in the studio, Karen Aguilar, Local 3 News.